Hi, Kaushik. Hari, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
So we will wait for a few minutes, then we will start. Okay. And just check. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
Yes. Good. Okay. Fine. So in the previous class, we discussed about asexual reproduction in plants. Okay. Now we will start with the sexual reproduction. Okay, asexual reproduction in organisms. That's what we discussed. Now we will start with the sexual reproduction. Okay, when you can call the reproduction as sexual? Tell me when you can call a kind of reproduction is sexual. Hello, Hari, Kaushik.
Sir,
When you can call reproduction is sexual?
sir, when two gametes are merged in each other
Yeah, when there is
and a parent,
involvement of, yeah, when there is involvement of fusion, you can say involvement and fusion of, you can say involvement and fusion of two opposite type, sex cells, you can say, or gametes, then you can call it as what? Sexual reproduction. Okay, involvement and fusion of two opposite type sex cells or two opposite type of gametes, you can say opposite type of gametes, then only you can call it as what? Sexual reproduction.
sir, your screen just went, sir.
Yeah, can you see now?
No, sir.
You can't see the screen?
No, sir.
Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so when there is involvement of or fusion of two gametes, then you call it as reproduction, sexual reproduction. Okay, and of course, like in layman term, both sexes, male and female, are needed. When male and female are needed to produce new generations, that also you can call it as what? A sexual mode of reproduction. There is involvement of gametes like sperm and egg cells, or there is involvement of male and female, both sexes, are called what? That is called what? Sexual reproduction. Fine. What is the significance of sexual mode of reproduction? What is the significance? Genetic recombination. Okay, what is the significance of sexual reproduction? Genetic recombination, CBR, the combination of, we have the combination of paternal and maternal characters. Paternal means father, maternal means mother. Okay, paternal, father, and then maternal, mother. Okay, fine. And now, limitations. Next question they are asking, are there any limitations of the asexual mode of reproduction? What are the limitations of asexual mode of reproduction? No genetic recombination. In asexual mode, you can't see any genetic recombination. No new characters are seen. Okay, so that's one limitation of asexual mode of reproduction. Okay, fine. And then, why the sexual mode of reproduction? As we see, genetic recombination. Okay, fine. Now, what is the mechanism of sexual reproduction? What mechanism is involved? When they ask about the mechanism, that is called what? The DNA copying mechanism. You get many questions of this area. The DNA copying mechanism. Okay, for any mode of reproduction, this forms the basis. The DNA copying mechanism. What is DNA copying mechanism? Like paternal genes and maternal genes are transferred from sperm cell and egg cell. Okay, sperm and egg cells. Okay, okay, the genes are from sperm and egg cells are transferred to produce what? Zygote, to form a zygote. So we are the combination of it. This is the zygote. We get the genes from paternal and the genes from maternal. Okay, so that's a very, very important aspect in like the DNA from Appa and Amma. Okay, what forms? The zygote forms. And then the organism develops from the zygote. Okay, so the DNA copying mechanisms forms a very, very important aspect. Okay, and okay, can you understand this process? DNA copying mechanism.
Yes, sir.
What occurs in DNA copying mechanism? You can see combining variations from two or more individuals, like results in new combination of variations. Okay, fine. Of course, it involved two different individuals. Okay, so these are all the basic things you should know about what sexual reproduction. Okay, it incorporates. Okay, sexual reproduction incorporates genetic recombination from two different individuals in general. Okay, fine. So just keep that in mind. And now, the common thing about sexual reproduction. Okay, before we go to sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, sexual reproduction in flowering plants or plants and animals. How the reproduction has to be studied in sexually reproducing organism. Okay, in sexually reproducing organism or in sexual reproduction, okay, the life cycle is divided into three phases. Okay, three phases. What are the three phases? What are the three phases? Juvenile phase, and then reproductive phase, and then senescent. Senescent phase, or we can say aging phase. Okay. Can you tell me what are the three phases seen in sexually reproducing organisms? Hari, Kaushik?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What are the three phases?
Juvenile phase,
Juvenile
reproductive phase, and
reproductive phase,
senescent
senescent,
or
and aging
aging
phase.
phase.
Very good. So, juvenile phase means from birth to puberty. Okay. Juvenile phase means we call it as in Tamil Kulandai Paruvam. Okay. So, from birth to puberty, it is called juvenile phase. Okay. Reproductive phase, the period of reproduction. For example, in female, from menarche to menopause. Okay, menarche to menopause. So that's the reproductive phase. And of course, in male, from puberty till the aging process starts. Okay, men can produce viable cells for a long time, even though they become old. Okay, so it is a very long period for men, but it is a defined period for women. Okay, but anyway, the potentials if they have, that period is actually called what? Reproductive phase. And then senescent phase or aging phase in women after menopause. Okay, that is aging phase. So finally it ends with death. So birth to death is the life cycle, and then three phases it is separated: juvenile phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase in all sexually reproducing organisms. So this is common in all sexually reproducing organisms. Okay, fine. Now the reproductive phase consists of three events. Okay, events, they call it as what? Events of reproduction. Events of reproduction. In reproductive phase, there are different events. What are they? Do you remember? Events of reproduction. Events of reproduction. Okay, fine. Listen. They are separated into three events again. One is called what? Pre-fertilization. Okay. What are the first event? Pre-fertilization, which includes what? Pre-fertilization includes gametogenesis. Pre-fertilization includes gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Okay, pre-fertilization includes gametogenesis and gamete transfer. So, what is gametogenesis process? Can you give me example of gametogenesis process? Hello, students. Gametogenesis.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What are the two? Gametogenesis means gamete cell formation process. Okay, the germ cells, they call it as what? The gamete cells, or you can say the reproductive cells. Okay, the reproductive cell formation process is called what? Gametogenesis. What are the two type of gamete present in humans? sperm and egg cell. Okay, it is called what? Sperm. In male, the production process is called what? Spermatogenesis. And then egg cell or ovum. So it is called what? Oogenesis. Genesis means formation process. Okay, gametogenesis process. Can you tell me the gametogenesis process in plants? What are the name of the process? Gametogenesis in plants. Or called what? Gametogenesis in plants. Called what? Micro. Forget all these things. Sporogenesis and megasporogenesis. Do you remember? Microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis or gametogenesis process in plants. Okay, in plants. Microspores are male gametes, megaspores are female gametes. Can you understand what is gametogenesis? Only you people are there, so please respond.
Yes, sir.
Kaushik and Hari.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So gametogenesis process, microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis in plants. Spermatogenesis, oogenesis in humans and other animals. Okay, fine. Gamete transfer process. What it is called? Gamete transfer process. In plants, it is called what? Pollination. In plants, gamete transfer process is called what? Pollination. Transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma. Okay. Anther of the flower to stigma of the flower. Same flower or different flower. So pollination. That's the gamete transfer process. In humans, it is called what? Insemination. Introduction of semen sample into the female reproductive tract. It is called what? Insemination. Insemination. Insemination in humans. Okay, in animals. Can you understand? So, pre-fertilization events are gametogenesis and gamete transfer process. Okay, next thing in sexual reproduction, it is called what? Fertilization. Okay, the next thing is called what? Fertilization. The second event in sexual reproduction is fertilization. Okay, pre-fertilization and then fertilization. How do you define fertilization? Fusion of male and female gametes. Fertilization is fusion of male and female gametes. Okay, fertilization. In plants, the fertilization is called what? Double fertilization. Okay, so that we will be seeing. In plants, the fertilization is called what? The double fertilization. Hope you know what is double fertilization. Otherwise, please listen. Later, we will be seeing double fertilization, which is there in plants. We don't have humans, animals do not have double fertilization. Only it is there in plants. So that's the second event. And then, what is the third event? What is the third event?
Post-fertilization.
Fertilization.
Post-fertilization.
Very good, very good.
Post-fertilization.
Fertilization and post fertilization. Post-fertilization. What are the events in post-fertilization in plants and animals? In plants, what and all will form by post-fertilization for events?
For embryo.
Yeah, very good. See, zygote forms, okay, embryo. First, before that, endosperm. They call it as what? Endosperm formation, and then embryo formation, and then seed formation, and then fruit formation. Okay, they are the post-fertilization events in plants. Okay, plants. In animals, post-fertilization in animals. In animals, zygote develop into, they call it as what? Morula, blastula, and then gastrula, and then neurula, and then you can say all these things together. From this to this, it is called what? Embryo. From this to that, it is called what? Embryo formation. So zygote formation results in all the stages. Results in called what? Embryo formation, and then fetus. Fetus formation, and the newborn baby, and then the baby. So they are the different stages in animals. And then baby grows to become adult. Okay, so they are the post-fertilization events in animals. Zygote formation, and then different stages of embryo formation, then fetus formation, and then parturition, baby formation means baby birth, and then the baby develops into adult. Can you understand? So that's about what the post-fertilization in humans or animals. So you must know about that when it comes to sexual reproduction. Okay, when it comes to sexual reproduction, you should know about the phases in sexual reproduction. Okay, what are the phases? Gonal phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase. They are the phases in sexual reproduction. And then events in sexual reproduction: pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. And then the pre-fertilization events includes gametogenesis and gamete transfer process, and fertilization, fusion of male and female gametes. So in plants, we have double fertilization. Okay, in animals, no double fertilization and all is present. And then post-fertilization in plants, endosperm formation, embryo formation, seed formation, fruit formation. But in animals, you have zygote formation, morula, and then other developmental stages of embryo. Finally, embryo develops, embryogenesis, then fetus, then baby, then adult. Okay, so they are the different stages in plants and animals. Okay, so that's the first thing we should know. Okay, are you listening? Shall we go to what is sexual reproduction in flowering plants? Okay,
Yes, sir.
yes. What are angiosperms? What are angiosperms? What kind of plants are called angiosperms? You don't know that? Anyway, please listen. Flowering plants. Okay. Here it is mentioned, right? Flowering plants are called what? Angiosperms. Okay. The flowering plants. We call it as what? Angiosperms. All the flowering plants are called what? Angiosperms. Okay. Angiosperms are the flowering plants. And flowers are the reproductive part of angiosperms. What are flowers? Flowers are the reproductive part of angiosperms. Flowers are the reproductive organ, we can say. Reproductive organ of flowering means angiosperm. Okay, fine. Listen, there are 4 different components, whorls. They call it as what? Whorls. Means 4 whorls are present in plants. 4 whorls. Okay, 4 whorls are present. What are they? 4 whorls. One is sepal. The 4 whorls are sepal, petal, stamen, pistil. Okay, what are the 4 whorls? Sepal, petals, stamen, and pistil. Okay, you can see here. So, the green-like structure, green leaf-like structure, they are called what? Sepals. Okay, the technical term for sepal is actually called what? Calyx. Sepals are also called what? Calyx, which is green in color. And then the second whorl is called what? Petal. Okay, first sepal, and then second whorl is what? Petal. So it is also called what? Petal is also called what? Corolla. What is the technical term? Corolla. Okay, and then the third whorl is called what? Stamen. You can see stamen. Okay, the technical term for stamen is actually androecium. Okay, it is called what? Androecium. Androecium. That's the third whorl. And then pistil. Okay, pistil is the technical term is called what? Gynoecium. Technical term for gynoecium means pistil is gynoecium. Okay, so what are the 3 whorls? What are the 3 whorls? Sepals, petals, stamen, pistil, or you can say androecium and gynoecium. And the androecium consists of what? Anther and filament. Okay, so the anther and filament, you can see the bilobed structure. And so this is anther and this is filament. Okay, that's the stamen. And now gynoecium means you can see stigma, this part, and then you can see style, and the bottom bulged portion. You can see that bottom bulged portion is called what? Ovary, basically. Ovary. So stigma, style, and then ovary together makes the pistil. Anther and filament makes stamen or androecium. Okay, is it easy for you to understand? Hello, students. Are you listening?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay, fine, good. So when there are different type of flowers, some flowers may be unisexual. Unisexual means either they have male flower or female flower. Examples means, look at here, either stamen or pistil. Then it is called what? Unisexual flower. Example is papaya, watermelon. Example, papaya and watermelon are unisexual flower. And then bisexual, they must have both stamen and pistil. Then it is called what? Bisexual flower. Okay? Can you understand? Fine. And then the importance of stamen is they produce what? Pollen grain. Okay? Stamen should produce pollen grain. Okay? And pistil should produce what? Female gametophyte. Pollen grain is the male gametophyte. Pistil produces female reproductive, means gametophyte. Female gametophyte are produced by the pistil. Can you understand? Is it clear? Hello, students?
Sir,
Yeah. Now, the component of gametophyte, female gamete means pistil or stigma, style, and ovary. And they are defining what is stigma, what is style, and what is ovary. See, you should be able to define all the components of androecium and all the components of gynoecium. Okay, all the components of androecium and all the components of gynoecium. Okay, see, what is ovary? The swollen bottom part of pistil is ovary, and then middle elongated part is style, and terminal part which is sticky is stigma. Terminal plots which may be sticky is stigma. Okay, so stigma, style, and ovary. Okay, fine. Finally, the ovule. See, this is the ovary. You can see the ovary, and this is the stigma, and you can see this is the style. Okay, stigma, style, and then ovary you have. Okay, stigma, style, ovary, and the ovary contains ovules. Okay, each ovule has excel. See, this is the ovule. Ovary, inside that what is present? This is called what? Ovule. Ovule. Okay, the top, this bulged part is actually ovary, and then which consists of what? Ovule. Ovary contains ovule. Okay, keep that in mind. And then ovule, excel means you can say here, this is egg sac, and inside that, let me enlarge this structure, and inside that water 9 dots are kept. The center middle dot is called what? Egg cell. Okay, female gametophyte. Okay, listen, what and all, just to make you understand, I'm just like cleaning means the picture. Please look into that. Female reproductive part has stigma, style, and ovary. Okay, the function of stigma is to receive pollen grain and accept possible correct pollen grain. Okay, stigma function is to receive pollen grain. Okay, stigma function is to receive pollen grain, and then in a germinate, receive and germinate pollen grain. That is the function of stigma. Okay, it should receive. I just write PG since there is no space. So pollen grain should be received. Instead of that, I think I can give you picture also of pollen grain. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the picture. Okay, the pollen grain should be received and germination should occur. So that is the function of stigma. And the function of style is supporting the development of pollen tube. Okay, the development of pollen tube. So you can see the pollen tube. Okay, this is the pollen tube they are mentioned. So development of pollen tube. Of pollen tube. That is the function of what? Style. Okay, function of style is supporting the development of pollen tube, and of course, like helps for the stigma to catch the pollen grain which are passed through air. Okay, wind. When the wind is there, so it gives kind of flexibility to the stigma to catch whole pollen grains. Okay, fine. And then the ovary, as we say, contains ovule, and ovule contains egg sac. Okay, egg sac, or you can say egg cell. Okay, ovary contains ovule, and ovule contains egg cell. Okay, keep that in mind. Ovary contains ovule, ovule contains egg cell. Okay, so that's the important thing you should know about what the female gametophyte or the female reproductive part. So, what is microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis? Pollen grain formation is microsporogenesis. Female gametophyte, like that, ovary, ovule, egg cell. Female gametophyte formation is what? Female gametophyte formation is called what? Megasporogenesis. Okay, megasporogenesis. Okay, see, please understand one thing in clear. I'm just going to enlarge this picture. That is called what? Egg sac or ovule. Okay, ovule order, like the inner eggs, that is called egg sac. The egg sac structure I'm just going to enlarge. Okay. See, and of course, before that, please understand the structure of pollen grain also. The pollen grain structure is like this. The outer hard cover is called what? Egg sign. Outer hard cover is called what? Egg sign. And then the inner thin cover is called what? Intine. Egg sign and intine. And then pollen grain will have two cells inside that. Okay, there are two cell stage, and the larger cell, okay, larger cell with bigger nucleus, smaller cell with putti nucleus. Okay, there are two cells. So the largest cell is called what? It is vegetative cell. Vegetative cell. And the inner smaller cell is called what? Generative cell. Very important thing. Keep this in mind. Vegetative cell and generative cell. So two cell stage. Just understand one thing. 60% of the plant releases in this two cell stage. Pollen grains are released in the two cell stage. Okay, that's the structure. An important thing you should know about pollen grain. And then coming to the egg sac. Okay, egg sac. It is a like a double membranous cover. You have a double membrane structure. Okay, the embryo sac. They call it as what? Embryo sac. Means it become into embryo. Sorry. Embryo sac, and then the mature female gametophyte should have, listen, it is, see here, pollen grains 60%, 2-cell stage, but female gametophyte 7-celled and 8 nucleated stage. See, female gametophyte should be 7-celled and 8 nucleated stage. And the 7 cells are, means 8 nucleus. What? The red one which I draw are called what? Nucleus. Okay. How many dots? 8 dots. Okay, you can see 8 dots. And then they are called what? Here they develop into the pink one or the purple one represents the cells. 3 cells at one end, and then 3 cells at other end. Okay, so 6 cells. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. This end they call it as what? Calassal end. Calassa. So calassal end. Here they have micropyle, a short opening. So that end is called what? Micropyle end. Okay, micropyle end. Okay, so this is the basic structure you should understand. And 3 cells on top, 3 cells on bottom. In the central one, which is the large, you can see this is the large central cell. This is the large central cell. So 8 7-celled and 8 nucleated stage. Okay, why you should understand this structure in the sense? See, this is what, look at that here. Can you see? Okay, can you see 8? How many yellow dots you can see here? You can see 3 yellow dots here and 3 yellow dots here, and in central 2 yellow dots. That is what I just explained here. Okay, that is the structure which I gave you here. Okay, the enlarged structure which I gave you here. Okay, fine. Now, this is the one which I'm just going to, just for your clarity, I'm just going to give you a green dot. That green mark, the thing is actually called what? Egg cell. There is one nucleus. And then here, the central cell with 2 nucleus. Okay, in the central cell, you can have 2 nucleus. And here, this is the egg cell. Okay, this is the egg cell. Egg. And this is the, they call it as what? 2 nuclei are there. So they are called what? Polar nuclei, since 2 are there. Means here 2n is there, means 2 nucleus is there. Here only 1n is there. Okay, only 1n is there. Fine. I just explained about the structure, and now please understand the very important thing. Pollen grain formed, active pollen grain formed, and egg, female gametophyte formed. That's the pre-fertilization event. What is the second pre-fertilization event? Is pollination. Okay, in this stage, pollination should occur, and pollination, after pollination, you can look into this structure. The pollen grain lands on the stigma, and then see the pollen grain landing and the pollen tube development, and then Please look in here where the pollen grain it enters here. This part is called what? Micropyle. That's the opening. Micropyle is there. There in plant, what you should importantly know is double fertilization. See, please understand one thing. Egg cell is having one N. So plus male gametophyte plus, listen, please understand one thing. In the male gametophyte, the generative cell will have one N. After landing into the stigma, this one N is going to develop into two, mitotically divide and produces two nucleus, the red one or nucleus. Okay, two, it is going to develop into two nucleus. And in that, look at that, here, the two nuclei are represented here. See, this is one thing. Here, one thing will be there. And of course, you can see there are two nucleus come to the pollen tube. Okay, two nucleus from the pollen grain. So one, this is two, means this is one N and this is one N. Two enters into the pollen tube. Okay, and then look at that here. Already one N is there, and again one N is there, which results in the formation of 2N. Means what forms? Zygote forms. This is ஒரு fertilization, and then here fertilization, you can say one, fertilization one. Here one fertilization, and then here you can see already 2N plus 1N. So one gametophyte and another gametophyte basically. So 2N plus 1 equal to 3N formation. Okay, this is another fertilization. So two fertilization will occur. So it is called what? In two place fertilization occur. Here one fertilization and here one fertilization. So it is double fertilization. Okay, and there are some technical terms for the double fertilization also. This process 3N formation is called what? Triple fusion. Okay, the 3N formation is called what? Since three nucleus are fusing, it is triple fusion. And then the 2N zygote formation, this is called what? Syngamy. Please understand the technical terms. Syngamy, synchronization of gametes. Triple fusion, syngamy. So we must understand these terms. Okay, that's about the fertilization in plants. Okay, fertilization in plants. So in simple, after gametogenesis, the pollen grain need to be transferred to this from the stamen to the stigma, that is pollination. And there are two types of pollination. You know, self-pollination, same plant, same flower. Self-pollination, different plant, different flower. One flower to another flower. One plant, one flower to another plant. That is cross-pollination. Two types of pollination. Okay, there are pollinating agents. Abiotic agents are wind and water. Biotic agents are animals. That you should know. And after fertilization, okay, after fertilization, the zygote forms. The post-fertilization events are embryo formation, as I said, endosperm formation. See, listen. Here we saw the triple fusion. Triple fusion develop into endosperm. And zygote develop into embryo. Zygote develop into embryo. Okay, so endosperm and embryo formation. Okay, and then of course ovule. The ovule develops into what? See, you know different components. Just keep one thing in mind. Okay, what are here we saw like a zygote develops from egg, zygote develop into embryo. Okay, zygote develops into embryo. Sorry, zygote develops into embryo, and then the ovule develop into seed. Okay, ovule tough coat forms and develop into seed. Okay, zygote to embryo, ovule to seed, and then ovary develop into fruit. Okay, can you understand? Let me make it even more clear. Okay, and first zygote develops into embryo. Zygote develops into embryo, and the triple fusion develop into 3N, develop into endosperm. Endosperm only nourishes embryo. Okay, and then ovule develop into seed. Okay, ovule develop into seed, and then ovary develop into fruit. Okay, ovary develop into fruit. So they are the post fertilization events. And then the other parts, petals, sepals, stamen, style, and stigma, they all will fall off, shrink and fall off. Okay, so the other parts, zygote, ovule, ovary develop into other parts. So very important thing you should know from this. Okay, and the seed will have a special property called what? Dormancy. Seed will have a special property called what? Dormancy. What is seed dormancy? As soon as the embryo forms, it will not develop into organism. The seed with the tough coat, it remains for a long time. Only under proper condition, it germinates. Seed germinates. The seed under proper condition germinates to form what? Future plant. That process is called what? The seed developing into future plant under appropriate condition. That process is called what? Germination. So this is about sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, hope very technical part. This is actually reproduction in flowering plants is actually very technical part. And of course, two type of seeds, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Okay, cotyledons. Okay, monocot and dicot seeds are formed. Okay, fine. So please go through your text material and also your study material given from the by the learning group, and prepare well. Okay, we will have lot of discussion in this chapter. I will be asking you lot of questions in the next class. Okay, and of course you have assignment also, so please prepare well. In the next week we just discuss about the human reproduction. Okay, reproduction in humans. Okay, any doubt till this? Hello students, are you all listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, Hari. Very technical thing. That's why I just slowly continue. Okay, so please have this PDF as your reference and be sure with the terms which we discussed. Read the textbook very carefully. Okay.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.